There are some brand new reports and leaks out there about what is going down at San Diego Comic-Con this year for Marvel Studios. It's like nerdy Christmas in July.
It's like the news, but for nerds.
Today's shout out goes to Matthew Wonderland. Indeed, SWORD stands for Sentient World Observation and Response Department in Marvel Comics. Make sure you stay to the end of this video where we will ask another nerd card question. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday to you. I'm Josh. Welcome back to the den. And if you could do me a favor and drop a like on this video, it'd be much appreciated because YouTube's being YouTube once again.
Don't boo, vote.
Okay, so we are almost to San Diego Comic-Con and we are expecting a ton of Marvel Studios announcements. I mean, there's so much they can talk about. Getting the Fantastic Four back, getting the X-Men back, the future slate of their films. They're shooting Black Widow right now, and we know they're pretty close to shooting the Eternals as well. Now, on a side note here, Comic-Con this year is going to be really weird because a lot of studios are backing out of Comic-Con. And when I say backing out of Comic-Con, what I mean is the movie studios are backing out from their Hall H presentations. Hall H is where all the crazy movie stuff comes out. It's where Marvel Studios has their panels. It's usually where Sony and Warner Brothers also have their panels. And this year, DC is backing out. There's no DC films at Hall H this year. Sony's backing out. And Star Wars won't be there either. It's almost like everybody knows Marvel Studios just gonna drop crazy stuff and it's better to just kind of get out of the way. Let them have this one. I mean, geez, man, like what they're doing right now is ridiculous. And we're gonna do videos breaking down why those other studios are sort of not showing up. I think more will be answered in the coming months, but DC is sort of revamping their line. Sony is working on a lot of stuff, including potentially bringing in the Valiant universe, which I think they're working on. Star Wars has a lot of stuff to talk about, but they're sort of playing their cards close to the chest until Rise of the Skywalker comes out, or at least until later in the year. So what's this newest leaked report? Well, this is actually coming from Deadline, so it's pretty reputable, but they are hearing from sources that the Avengers are likely headed to San Diego Comic-Con for some kind of a reunion panel. They know that several of the main cast members from Endgame are coming to San Diego Comic-Con, and there's a lot of buzz that there will be this reunion of the Avengers, which they've done before in 2010 and I believe again in 2014. Now, right now we know that the Russo brothers are actually hosting a panel Friday morning at 11 a.m. and this panel is all about their new studio. It's said to focus on the studio that they are creating. Now, Steve Frosty Weintraub is moderating that panel, and I saw him announce that he was moderating this on a Collider Live. He was really pumped about it, and he said there were some huge things coming. But of course, he couldn't say what those things were. Now, a lot of people believe that the Avengers cast will actually come out with the Russo brothers for the panel on Friday, and they will do a Q&A and sort of talk about what it was like as a unit to both make Infinity War and Endgame. Like, this is one of the craziest cinematic achievements of all time. It's really interesting that a single directing team and basically the same cast and crew shot this just ridiculous back-to-back epic thing. And so it could make sense for the Avengers to sort of do their goodbye, their last goodbye and big Q&A session with the Russo brothers, focusing on what it was like to create Infinity War and Endgame, and then they can sort of also piggyback onto the new studio, the principles that they're gonna take over there, how they wanna approach film in the future. You know, it's sort of like a big, huge buzz getter and advertisement for what they will do in the future, and you sort of use the goodbye for the Avengers to get that attention. Now, another reason that insiders believe that the Avengers panel will be on Friday morning is because Saturday night, Marvel has their big Hall H panel. And it's technically possible that the Avengers cast comes out for that panel and they do a big Q&A and say goodbye to the Avengers, but Marvel tends to focus on the future and teasing big things that are coming for the audiences at San Diego Comic-Con. Most people are expecting big reveals about the future of the MCU, and in the past, the movies that are coming out next are teased and shown to these audiences in somewhat exclusive ways. Like Feige's famously said that certain things just work for a Comic-Con crowd because the people are so hardcore, but that wouldn't necessarily work for the public. So like when Doctor Strange was just being developed, they cut together using just concept art, like this weird trailer that showed motion and sort of teased what the magic would be like in Doctor Strange. And when Captain Marvel was announced, it was just concept art. They were showing different things about the Skrull, the Kree, and just what Carol was gonna be like in the cinematic version. And things like that totally play for a Comic-Con crowd, and that tends to be what Marvel does. So people think that we'll say goodbye to the Avengers Friday morning with the Russo brothers, and then Saturday night we will look ahead at the future of the MCU. And I believe that. Like, that is where I think it will go, although I should mention, guys, nothing's 100% yet. In about a week from now, we'll get the official slate of everything that'll be going on at Comic-Con, and you can be sure that we're gonna be covering all of that, streaming it over on Twitch probably the whole weekend, cutting together clips, putting out the videos here on YouTube so everybody can be informed about what is going on. So subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. And if you haven't done so, like, why? Now, you'll remember that a couple of weeks ago, we actually got a report out there that the next slate of Marvel movies is actually said to be revealed at D23 later this year. And so if you're putting all of these things together, here's what I think it looks like. We say goodbye to the Avengers with the Russo brothers Friday morning. We get a tease for the next couple of movies, I think Black Widow and the Eternals. And then after that at D23, which is just a couple of weeks after Comic-Con, you reveal the slate and you really talk about the Disney Plus stuff. Now, that's everything that we know and that we can kind of piece together from the different reports and leaks out there. And I want to know what you guys think about that, but I also want to sort of speculate about some other little goodies we might get at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, number one, I'm calling it right now, Keanu Reeves is walking out on that stage. I think that Keanu Reeves is a done deal to be in the Eternals, and they're going to save that announcement for Comic-Con, bring him out, and I mean, look what that did for E3, dude. Like, Keanu just comes out on stage, there's a breathtaking little thing going back and forth that's like, it's huge. Keanu's so hot right now, man, so hot. And so yeah, Keanu Reeves is coming out on that stage. I also think we're getting a tease that they are starting to work on the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I don't think that we'll get much in the way of even concept art or logos, although that would be really dope. But I think that Feige might tease some of his ideas, talk a little bit more to this hardcore comic book audience about what to expect from the Fantastic Four and X-Men characters in the MCU. I also think we'll get a light tease of some Disney Plus stuff, but again, I really think that'll be focused on at D23, but you never know, they could tease some of that stuff at San Diego Comic-Con as well. And we will be covering both San Diego Comic-Con and D23. Guys, the next several weeks for Marvel news is going to be ridiculous. As I said, make sure you're subscribed. Let us know what you think about all of this stuff, and what do you expect out of San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel? Let us know in the comment section below. I also want to tell everybody we're doing another Fan Chat Live later today. Right now, we're planning for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're talking all about the spoilers from Spider-Man Far From Home and what they mean for the MCU. We went over some of this stuff on the show yesterday, but I want to talk about it with you guys live. So we're doing a Fan Chat Live today, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now let's check the nerd card real quick. I want to know how close you pay attention to the Marvel rumor mill. What is the working title for the Eternals movie? Answer that question in the comments section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome end of today, and I'll see you in the next video.